Hello and welcome to the channel. This video is focused on the Monorim Bpk350 e-bike power kit. Thank you so much to Monorim for partnering with me for this video. If you do like this sort of content, please do subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out so much and I really hope you enjoy this video. So let's start with the unboxing of the Monorim Bpk350 e-bike power kit. This delivery came in two different boxes, both delivered together, and this smaller box contains the power kit. The second box, which you'll see in a second, contains the wheel, the hub motor. This shipment came from within the EU and was shipped from Germany to here in the UK. So this is the battery basket. The battery is fitted into and incorporated into the basket. There is an EU plug supplied, so if you're in the UK, you will need to either fit a UK plug or use a figure of 8 adapter that you may have for another device. This is the battery clamp. There are two parts to this. That's the second part with a combination lock-on, so you can lock the battery. Inside this package are some components. There's the throttle. Those are frame protectors, some bolts, and also the display. QR codes that help you with fitting and taking you to Monorim's social media accounts. And within this package there are some fixing ropes, Allen keys and a spanner that will fit your front wheel. So that's everything for the power kit. Some cable ties there too. The second box has within it just one item, and that is the wheel. This came with a tyre fitted and inflated. And this is a 350 watt power wheel, and it's a 26-inch wheel, so if you're fitting this to a bike, it will need to have a 26-inch wheel for it to be a like-for-like fitting. So let's move on to the assembly of the Monorim Bpk350 e-bike power kit. I've moved outside now and laid all of the components out on the table there. And this bike is a GT Aggressor 3 from 2003. I bought this from Facebook Marketplace specifically for this project. I needed a bike with 26-inch wheels and I didn't have one, so yeah, great bike. The first task here was to remove the front brake, and these are rim brakes, so they just need opening up to be able to get the front wheel off. And this is a skewer fork, so it can all be undone by hand. And that's the front wheel removed. Now the lockout for this wheel needed to be 10 centimetres and the opening on the forks needed to be 1 centimetre. Now these were about 90 millimetres, so I just needed to file a little bit of material away to be able to get the wheel to fit, but as you can see, dropped in quite nicely. And there is a washer on each side then that slots into the gap. It's identical both sides, and from that point you can tighten up the nuts, not too much, and they don't need really tightening too much, otherwise the fork will close onto the wheel and prevent it spinning. So enough for it to grip, and you can add some thread lock later on if that's what you need to do, but just make sure that the wheel is spinning freely as it is here. Perfect. There are 2 rubber caps, one each side. Cosmetic more than anything, but they'll keep the dirt out of the nuts there. That's the one for the other side. There are 2 parts to the basket clamp, and they are held together using 5 bolts, which are Phillips head. These 2 parts fit together really easily and can then be mounted onto the bike. You can see on the side there the combination lock that enables your battery basket to remain locked onto the clamp. Here are the frame protectors. They're just essentially stickers that stick on and will stop your frame being scratched or damaged when you tighten up the clamp. There is a specific Allen key that's a sort of safety Allen key that enables you to mount the basket on. You just really need to take some care here not to trap any cables. I did the first time that I fitted this, so just some real care that needs to be taken to mount this clamp and to get it really well fixed, particularly not pinching any of the gear cables. As you can see, that's really well clamped on there, and that's what it looks like without the battery basket being fitted. Clips on with a little bit of force, but there's the battery basket fitted, and that's what it looks like. Some care that needs to be taken with the connectors. For the wheel to rotate forwards, the cable needs to be on the right hand side as you're on the bike, and just pinching back up the brakes there. And next task is to fit the throttle. Now I moved the gear and brake holder to the left a little to get the throttle to fit next to the grips. This will be absolutely dependent on whatever bike you're fitting, but you just need to be able to make sure that you can change gear and use the brakes with the throttle fitted to however you want it to be fitted. The next task here is to fit the display. And for the display to be the right way round, the buttons need to be on the left-hand side. Just a small Allen key for both the throttle and the display. And connecting up these two components, the green needs to go to green and orange to orange. There are arrows on the cables that go from the wheel and both the throttle and also the display. Here's the display switching on for the first time. There is a protector on the display, so you can remove that. This is the cable that goes from the wheel. Just needs a couple of cable ties on the bottom half of the forks to allow the forks to travel. I always use a knife to make sure that the cable tie is clipped off really closely to the fastener, and then again a little bit of cable management here. Just neatening up those cables behind the basket, and again just chopping off the excess. And just a quick test of the display. There are 3 different settings in terms of power, none at all, and then 3 settings. It goes through odometer, trip, voltage, current, trip, and back to odometer as well in terms of the display. And this is how it rotates without any load, and this is how it sounds. So ready to give this a full test. So a test of the Monorim Bpk350 e-bike power kit. I'm going up a gradient here, and this is setting number 1, moving into setting number 2. The lowest settings of the 3, and as you can see on the display, around 15 kilometers per hour here going up this gradient. I'm not pedaling at all, and throughout the whole of this test I'm only using the throttle, no pedaling. Moving into the 3rd and final setting here, and consistently I found the power kit to enable this bike to move along at around 30 kilometers per hour top speed, reaching 31 there on the display. Moving through some of the specifications for this power kit. It's a 36 volt power kit, and the hub motor on the 26-inch wheel produces 350 watts of power. On paper, the top speed is 25 kilometers per hour, but the bike was always in excess of that on this test in terms of its top speed. There are 40 Newton meters of torque, and the current that the battery provides in the battery basket is at 20 amps. Just using the power alone to take me through this residential area, and I'm being followed by my DJI Neo drone. It was a very crisp winter's evening as I was riding through this residential area. And the speed of this bike at around 30 kilometers means that the rim brakes work really effectively. It's not too quick for rim brakes to work, but if you've got a bike that you're converting that is disc brakes, then there is an option to be able to fix your disc brakes onto this hub motor wheel, and that will work just as well. So a really simple option and a really easy to fit option from Monorim here. It has to be one of the simplest e-bike conversion kits that's available, and pretty stealthy as well. I feel it doesn't look like an e-bike, it looks like a mountain bike with a basket on the front. What a great product. And heading back at the conclusion of this test, really happy. So there you go. That's a review of the Monorim Bpk350 e-bike power kit. Again, thank you so much to Monorim for partnering with me for this video. If you did like it, please do like, please do subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out so much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.